v'taher libeinu leyavdecha beyemet v'taher libeinu leyavdecha beyemet oy oy v'taher libeinu leyavdecha beyemet v'taher libeinu leyavdecha beyemet hey v'taher libeinu leyavdecha beyemet shumran shalom a good Kvittle ay ay leyavdecha beyemet oy oy v'taher ay ay leyavdecha really? I haven't heard from you in ages. V'taher libeinu oy oy leyavdecha beyemet hey v'taher libeinu leyavdecha beyemet v'taher libeinu leyavdecha beyemet agud v'chaboisai Yidy Schwartz, Mordechai, a good Kvittle to everybody. I might have not broken my fast yet. I did. I'm wearing this as a symbol. I talk about this night the entire year. I always say, we learn Daf Yomi, we learn on Tisha B'Av, we learn on Yom Kippur. In fact, this shir, well, not really this one, Gershon, a little. The tomorrow's shir, which I have to give right after this year in Hebrew, I prepared today, mostly before davening in the morning and during the break, when my head hurt a lot. And I don't think last year I wore my kittel, but this year we learn every day. It's an unbelievable thing, this Daf Yomi business. I wore 1 year. I don't remember. It was last year? Okay, so that's it. We have to wear it every day. I'm surprised nobody here is wearing it. What's going on? The way I wore it in shul. This is how I was in shul. Well, you want a towel? Maybe towels. You got to bring a towel, Taka. Hope everybody had a meaningful davening. And it's interesting, I think, as we're saying, Cherev means Muhammad, but the Chazan emphasized Shvi, that was the thing that Shvi, and I was screaming Muhammad. There's no Muhammad, there's no Shvi, but okay, maybe Cherev he thought means a sword, Rabbi Isai, we're going straight into the sponsors. The Kvittle of the month, sponsored by Binyomin Rosenfeld, Fatzlach business. First of all, welcome to all the guests. Who are you guys over there? The Chasen. Is that who I think? Who's that? Yisrael Chayfetz. You good? Thanks for coming. Wow. Who else? Yeah, Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Tell us your name. You. Yeah. I know, but what's your name? Tell us. Shalom Aleichem. First time here, no? Wow, very nice. What's Yom Kippur? Huh? 3 guests. Where are you guys from? What? Karmi Gad, Kiryat Gat. Herzliya. And you in the middle? Also, Kiryat Gat. Wow. Very nice. What's your names? Jake Manis. Jack Sepner? Stepner. Shalom Aleichem. What are you laughing about? Jake and Jack. You're excited to be here? I'm also excited to be here. Gewaldig. Unbelievable. Wow. Watch your head. Wow, gewaldig. Come more often. We have a tremendous guest in the house. We have Jonathan Stefansky, our boy. A big round of applause. Yom Kippur. Yeah, I knew it had something to do with his Purim shtick. He's probably gonna say his Purim shtick in a kittel now. Whatever it goes. All right. The guy behind you, He's new. No. That way, with the guy with the white long beard, he has no idea who you are. So say, introduce yourself. No, I'm saying to Jonathan, turn around, the guy behind you, say hello to him. He doesn't know who you are. That's it. Yeah.
Everyone else, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Hey, you know what? Come here. I barely recognize you. All right. The Kvittle of the day, Rabbi David and Debbie Finkelstein, in honor of Rabbi Stefansky. You have changed my life. Wow. Shkoyach. Did not read this before. The Masechta, sponsored for the safe and speedy return of all the hostages. Paras HaChodesh Nishmas Chai B'Moshe Nishmas Chai B'S Yosef. Paras HaChodesh Binyomin Rosenfeld, for all the zchusim that come from supporting limud HaTorah. Paras HaChodesh, health and strength for Rav Eli. Shkoyach. Paras HaYoim, Yakov Zaret, in honor of my daf-iversary. My father asked me to try it out from Rosh Hashanah. Where is he? Right? Shmalechem. Wow. Second day in a row, I think, that he sponsored. Robbie Strazynski, in case my tshuva and tefilla don't work, I'm trying to have all the bases covered. Oh, it's you, Shalom Aleichem, Robbie. I hope the tshuva worked, but it's a great idea. Anybody else think that the tshuva didn't work? There's an Adarim Plus machine right over there. Yidy Schwartz. Yidy Schwartz, the famous Yidy Schwartz. Lech nishmas imi morosi chava miriam bas mordechai niftaru yoyim הכיפורים. Tofshin samach gimel. And for all those who do not talk in shul from the beginning till the end of davening all the time. Before Shlomo Miriam bas Sarah Leah, Moshe Shlomo ben Sarah Leah, Simcha Meir ben Rachel. By Levi Folger, in honor of becoming a Zaydi for the first time. Chasdei Hashem, Bez Hashem Vaiter. I know the feeling. It's unbelievable, Levi. You should have a lot of nachas. Amen. The art of the month for zchus for Rav Eli and the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable for so many. We're in the middle of a sugya here, daf kuf test. We're going to start out with very fun psukim, and then we're going to get into a little bit of Agadah actually. Somewhat related to Yom Kippur even. So, to remind the Olam, we had a bunch of psukim that talk about Yerusha. We'll see them soon. We have, the pasuk says that you give, if a person dies, you give it to the son. If he doesn't have a son, you give it to the daughter. He doesn't have a daughter. Who do you give it to? You give it to the brothers. If there's no brothers, you give it to the brother of the father. But what about the father himself? So he said the following pasuk, all the way at the end, it says the she'erei hakariv elov is referring to the father of the one who died. He gets Yerusha. But where do you put him exactly? So yesterday, we put him over here. We said the psukim, as the Gemara is going to explain today, psukim don't really go in order, and therefore it's son, daughter, father of the dead. We take him out of order. He's really in pasuk Yud Aleph, all the way at the end of the list. No, we're going to put him somewhere in the middle of the list, literally in the middle. Two above him, two below him, he's in the middle. Says the Gemara, Ema, 4 lines from the top of Kuf Tes Amud Aleph. Ema, who told you? Who told you to do that? Ema she'eroi ze'av. You're right, that part I agree, that the word she'eroi means a father. Milame she'av koidim labas. Maybe, in fact, it goes like this. Maybe he should go over here. In front of the daughter. First, you give it to a son. If there's no son, give it to the father. Another male in the family. And then he goes to the daughter. Maybe that's the pshat. Now, maybe if you're already going to do that, yochel yagdim laben, maybe you should push him all the way on top. No, that much I don't want to do. Tamaloymar hakarov, karov kaidem. No, a son is closer to his own father than the father is close to the son. Okay, so that much not. But we could understand that the father of the dead, of the mace, goes in front of the daughter after the son. Says the Gemara, no. If a person has a daughter, there is no chi of yibum. The only time that a person's brother marries his wife, in other words, if a person dies, then the brother-in-law is supposed to marry the dead brother's wife. That's only if he doesn't have a son or a daughter. But if he has a daughter, there's no yibum. Here, we learn from the pasuk, Ubein ein loy, ayin loy. We look, we search with a magnifying glass. If there's anything, even a daughter, there's no yibum. So memela, a daughter is like a son. A daughter is a shame la'aviv. Why do you do yibum? So that there's a remembrance for the father, for the one that died. The daughter is the one, she has a shame. Just like a son absolves yibum, so too a daughter. And just like a son gets Yerusha, so too the daughter gets Yerusha before her grandfather. Okay? So now we know that a father of the dead doesn't go before his granddaughter. Ve'ema sheri za'av. Okay? We're still going to go with that. It's just repeating. Sheri means a father. Melamed sho'av koidem la'achei av. Oh, maybe this doesn't make so much sense if you're thinking about it. Maybe, yeah, it does, actually. Who told you that the father comes before Pasuk Tes, before the brothers? Maybe it means that the father comes before the father's brothers, before the uncles. Who are the Achei Av? You have an Av, you have a father, and his brothers. Maybe the whole pasuk is coming to say, that what? To say that he comes before the brothers, like we said yesterday, and that how we're going to stay. No. A brother comes before a father. Why? You see that a brother does yibum. A brother has a certain closeness that a father doesn't have. Says the Gemara, so maybe, okay, I agree with you that a father gets Yerusha, and I agree with you that the father gets Yerusha out of order. But who told you to put him in the third slot, put him in the fourth slot? Says Gemara, the Gemara is just teaching us how we came up with this to begin with. We put him in the third slot for a reason, because you go through each and every one, it doesn't make sense only to put him in the third slot. Says Gemara, to say that he comes right before his own brothers makes zero sense. You don't need a pause for that. Why would an uncle even have Yerusha? How are they even related here? They're related through their brother who's the father. So how in the world would an uncle come before the father? Okay, there's a grandfather and the grandfather's brothers. A guy died. His own father should not get Yerusha. His own father should come after his uncles? Makes no sense. The uncles are only related because they're the brothers of his father. So the father obviously has to come before them. I don't need a pasuk to say, all the way in the bottom, Achei Aviv. I don't need a pasuk to say that he comes before them. It must come to say a big chiddush, that he comes even before the dead person's brothers, not the dead person's uncles. Boys, don't worry about it. We're almost done with these psukim. See some of you already falling asleep. Like, this is why I came to daf. I'm what's a young kippur. I could have been asleep now. What? If there's a father, the father's brothers, the uncles, should have Yerusha before him? He's the kid's father, Rebbeinu Shalom. How the uncles come before him? I don't need a pasuk for that. But the Gemara says, this the Rashbam already told us the answer to this yesterday. But the psukim are not in order. It doesn't make any sense. It says, L'sheira Akarev Elav, that's pasuk Yud Aleph. So let's just go in order. You have Ben, Bas, Ach, Achei Aviv, and afterwards the father. Says the Gemara, Kroi Shalik Kisidrum Sivi, V'mei Nachim La'aviv, V'kroi Lav Chachik Sivi D'chsivim, Ein Achim La'aviv. Says the Gemara, Kroi Shalik Kisidrum Sivi, you're right, the psukim don't go in order. What's the most important thing from everything here? It says L'sheiroi Hakorev Elav. Hakorev means related, the closest. We're going to go with the one who's most related. Who is the closest person to a person who dies? His own son. Then comes the daughter. Then comes his father. It goes by whoever is closest. Huh? Mother doesn't get anything. Sorry. That was in the first Mishnah. She's a noichel and a manchel. She's a manchel and a noichel. She gives over, but she doesn't take Yerusha. She gives Yerusha, she doesn't take Yerusha. Sorry. Zok the Gemara. We have another source. How do you know where a father belongs in the Yerusha? If you just read the Psukim, seems like he's in the fifth slot. The Sanya is Zudarsh Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yosi. Rabbi Yosi Darshan is Ishki Yamos Uvein Einloi. B'Makayim Bas Atomavir Nachlo Menaav. Let's see the pasuk. Here we go. Vel b'nei Yisrael tedab leimor Ishki Yamos Uvein Einloi. V'havartem es nachlasoi lebitoi. Now, if you look at the other psukim, let's look at the other psukim here. V'mein loy bas unesatem es nachlasoi. V'mein loy achim unesatem es nachlasoi. What's this v'havartem es nachlasoi? The Gemara understands it's an interesting lashon, different than all the other lashonis in the psukim. It's not a lashon of nesina, it's a lashon of havara, lashon of skipping over, passing over. V'havartem, lahavir. La'avar in Hebrew. What's this v'havara? The sign is used the Rav Shmuel Ishki Yomos Bein Eloi b'Makayim Bas Atomavir Nachlo Minahav. When there's a daughter, she overtakes her grandfather, the father of the one who died. Via Tomavir Nachlo Minahav b'Makayim Achim. But when there's brothers and there's a father, the father comes first. So he did something interesting. Let's see this for a second. Oh. You have the heavier guy on top, he's an uncle. The father is on the bottom of the screen. The daughter is behind him. You have a brother, you have a son, and here goes. So now she overtook, she vahavartem. She skipped over the father. The father was supposed to, there's no door. She overtook him. And then all the way in the back is the uncle. Maybe, you guys, there was an English guy here, Yisrael Lichter's brother-in-law. He's like, oh, this is gewaldig. You guys are a bunch of after the fast kind of people. Maybe this pasuk is coming to say that she does skip, but she skips over the brother. But the pasuk is not talking about the father at all. Maybe the father, actually, the father of the one that died, her grandfather, maybe he's before. Kof Amud Beis. V'atomavir nachlo minaav. Afilu b'mokim bas. Maybe the father comes first, even if there's a daughter. Says the Gemara, Imkein le'nichter rachmana v'avartem. Why did the Torah have to say v'avartem? Why did that Torah have to say at all that she takes over? Let's do the Rashbam for a second. Hold on a second. I think he's over. Oh, he's on Amud Beis. What does the Vahavarta come to tell us? The Lahaitana Kroik is Hidrim Ksivi. So the Rashbam says, beautiful, that this Tana is not holding, it doesn't hold like the Tana that we learned until now. This Tana holds that the Psukim come, they're in order. Talidar Sheiroi. As the Gemara is going to say in a second, what does this Tana do with the word Sheiroi? He doesn't learn Sheiroi. He learns everything is in order. So what does the Vahavartem come to say? Why does it use a lashon of to skip over? It's coming to say to skip over because typically the father should be there. This is something special where the daughter comes and does something that she shouldn't be doing. She overtakes the father. Says the Gemara, so we have a shayla, we have machlokes. What word teaches us the position of the grandfather or the father? Is it she'eroi or is it vahavartem? If you're learning from vahavartem, what does he do with the word she'eroi? So everybody knows. Sorry.
I got you.
Oh, thank you. Eitan G's in the house. He lives in Israel now. This one I needed somebody in Los Angeles to take care of the island there. Where were you when I was there? You weren't there.
I was on the East Coast, and then you traipsed off to Hawaii and Oxnard, and I'm back, and you're gone. What do you want me to tell you?
It's my fault. How's that Vitar Libena? Was that quick enough or was it also slow?
See, that's good. It's got feeling. It's got feeling. It's got energy. After Yom Kippur, I felt it was great. Beautiful.
But then those other songs are like,
every Saturday night I listen. It's a slow funeral. But this, beautiful.
Let's sing that song for him. Oy shifti beveis Hashem ko yemei chayai ilach zois benoyam Hashem ko yemei chayai olemake beicholoi ko yemei chayai. You call that a funeral song?
That's not what you usually sing on.
But that was a song that was playing before. You said this is a funeral.
I didn't like that.
But this is the same one.
No, this is better.
This is the same one.
When Jews are singing together, it sounds better.
Okay. Excuses.
It was a faster tempo.
What's your favorite song? Yeah.
No? Something.
What's that song you keep on? When you come up with it, we'll sing it. Sponsors. Turn to the daf. I'm just going to do sponsors. By the time I'm done, you'll sing it. Turn to the daf Tishrei. The Belsky family in memory of Simcha Beryl, David Al-Shalom ben Avraham Moshe, and Kinovation Al-Si in honor of my uncle Rabbi Chon Pressman, official. It should be Schos. Akiva Simcha ben Feiga. A shidduch for Rav Yehudis Bas Yafachaya, and a thank you to Eli Stefansky for selflessly giving up her husband for the cloud. It should be Schos for you're filled with mazel, brocha, hatzlacha, parnasa, berevach, and refuah. So a lot of you know this. Well, She'er is a famous limud. What do you learn from She'er? Rabbi Isai, anybody? Why? From Boyer Lake, the Sanya She'er is Zuish Toy. Huh? You have it? You trying to do
He's on a Spotify playlist. Yeah.
Zuish Toy, the one that you sing by the graves, by the you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, there's one that you are.
And every Saturday
you know it.
It's not my jam. I need some up tempo.
Yeah, you want to sing a solo? One of your famous ones?
We're learning right now. I came here to learn. After Yom
I know, but
Kippur,
there's also some entertainment in the middle. Come on.
Bittul Torah.
Schlachrock, Rabbi Isai, this is Mr. Schlachrock. What are you famous for? What's your famous niggin?
I think Binyomin is probably.
How does it go?
It's a funeral dirge. So yeah, he has what to do with the word. He uses it that a husband could inherit his wife. And the one that learns that where you put a father for Yerusha, you learn from She'er. So what does he do with the word Vahavartem? All the psukim we showed says Nasatim is Nachlas, Nasatim, it says Nesina. It's talking by a girl, by the daughter, it says Havara, She'en L'cho Shemavir Nachla, Meshevet L'Shevet Elobas. How do you move the inheritance that Yeshua ben Nun gave you and stayed in your family for many, many years? How do you move it over to somebody else's family, to another Shevet? Through a daughter who married somebody from another Shevet. Hoylu b'no bala yarshin oisa. If she's the only inheritor, she inherited her father's, and she was married to somebody else, and that guy died. Now it goes to that person, Shevet. Eli Yaakov from the Koil told me, Vart, he said that why is it that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made Shvatim a year or plus into the Midbar? How come they weren't Shvatim beforehand? So he said because perhaps Shvatim could create machlokes. Different groups. I'm from this group, you're that group, we're different, we're better, everybody wants to be the better Sheva, the better, causes issues. So Kadosh Baruch Hu made it that, first of all, there was he wanted a year of Achdus. Klal Yisrael together, Achdus. And then he brought a Mishkan that we could have something in the middle, in the center, that we all come to, we're all part of. And then only after he had the Mishkan, and we had a whole year of togetherness, then he set us on different paths, so to speak, different Shvatim. Zog the Gemara, Umemai Desher Ze'av. Who told you that this pasuk that we're talking about the entire time, She'eroi, is the father, She'eroi? Who said? What's the word She'eroi? D'chsiv She'era Vicha Hi. You know why? Because it says in the pasuk She'era Vicha Hi. When do we have this pasuk, Rabbi Isai? Mincha. Today, just a few hours ago. So you see that She'er and father go together, says the Gemara, but look at the next pasuk. Ema She'er Zuei, D'chsiv She'er Imchahi. Amar Rava Amar Kra, Mimishpachtoi, V'yorash Oisa. When do we read this? Also, no? Today. Should be. So his family, there's Yerusha from within his family. Rabbi say, some people are not going to like this. Mishpachas av kruya mishpacha. It's only a few psukim later, no?
This is the psukim that we were doing before.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad. I'm looking somewhere else. Okay. Mishpachas av krui mishpacha, mishpachas aim eno krui mishpacha. The father's family is considered a mishpacha, a family. Mishpachas aim eno krui mishpacha. When it comes to Yerusha, we go with the mishpacha. The mishpacha is the father, not the mother. Although there's the famous Maisa, there was a couple in a car. They were in a big argument. They were in a big fight. They weren't talking to each other for most of the ride. And, they were driving down, and all of a sudden there's some cows on the side over there. So the wife turns to her husband and says, "Oh, I see your mishpachas over here, they're hanging out." He takes a look, he says, "Oh, Taka, much resembles my Shver and Trigger, you're right, it's mamish mishpacha." But mishpacha is the mishpacha of the father. Every family knows what I'm talking about. It's your family. The reason why he acts like that is because it comes from your mishpacha. It's just like your sister has the same problem. It's just me and my wife. Avi, you have no idea what I'm talking about because your wife doesn't have siblings, right? Mishpacha Asav Kuri Mishpacha is just the Stefansky thing.
Speak for yourself.
Oh. His wife is the one who told me. She's the one actually who created the people that married into Stefanskys. They have free therapy for life if they go to his wife's organization she made. Mishpacha Zav Kuri Mishpacha, Mishpacha Seimena Kuri Mishpacha. The Chsiv Mishpachaisam lebeis avoisam comes from the Av avoisam. As the Gemara Mishpacha Seimena Kuri Mishpacha. What the mother's Mishpacha is not Mishpacha. V'Chsiv Ayinar mibeis lechem Yehuda. So we're going to be discussing this case, this story. It's a sad story in a way, in a lot of ways, all the way into tomorrow. There was a guy by the name of Yohainason. He loved money. He was money hungry. And he found a great job by Micha to be in charge of Micha's Avodah Zarah. He didn't want to do Avodah Zarah, but for a little guilt, he said, why not? So he took the job. And the Gemara tells us that later on, this is part of the Navi, Don came and the spies came and they tried to take him away. They tried to make him in charge of their Avodah Zarah. Then later on he did Tshuva Shleima, Belev Shalem, Yom Kippur stuff, Givaldige stuff. So says the Gemara like this. This guy, Yohainason, he's from Yehuda. Mimishpachas Yehuda. And then the pasuk continues and says, V'hu Levi. Was he from Shevet Yehuda or Shevet Levi? He's min Mishpachas Yehuda, v'hu Levi, v'hu Gershom, and he lives there. As the Gemara Gufakashio, Amr's v'hu Levi, Amam Levi. Asi. Mishpachas Yehuda, Amam Yehuda Asi. He's what? Which one is he? He's from Levi or Yehuda. By the way, what do we learn from Leviim on Yom Kippur? Huh? Anybody? Who's a Levi here? Shlafra. Bilyak, Shlafra also. No, you should know. What do you learn from Leviim for Yom Kippur? How old do you have to be a chazan on Yom Kippur? Huh? 30 from Leviim. And if you don't have, like, we had a shtickle minion, one of the chazanim was not 30. It's going to be 25, because that's when they start learning. They start learning the avodah of the Beis HaMikdash at 25. It takes them about 5 years to learn. But it says in the pasuk that he's Yehuda and Levi. You can't be both. So, Elav Davum Levi, the best pshat we could think of, is that his father was a Levi and his mother was Yehuda. Maybe his mother was a Levi and his father was Yehuda. No, he wouldn't call him a Levi then. He was performing, he was a Levi. But his mother was from Yehuda. Oh, that's why the pasuk calls him Yehuda and Levi. So you see that the family of a mother is considered a family. Oh, he wasn't a real Levi. His name was Levi. So the pasuk says, his name was Levi, and he comes from Yehuda. So the Gemara, a nice try. So then why in the world would Micha, his boss, say, Ato yadati, now I know, ki yetiv Hashem li, Hashem is going to make it good for me. Ki hoya li halevi l'koyen. It's crazy. Micha, Mr. Avodah Zarah, says, Hashem loves me. Look at this. Hashem, Mamash, a kiss from Hashem. He said, a kiss from Hashem. Look who came to work for me. A guy whose name is Levi to do the Avodah Zarah, and he's a kohen. He's going to be my kohen. He's going to be my priest for the Avodah Zarah. Oh, Hashem loves me. Hashem is going to take care of me. So you see from here, Mordechai think that you have to open up your eyes. You have to see Hashem in all situations. Micha, unfortunately, he opened up his eyes, and he saw what he thought is a sign from Hashem that he should be doing Avodah Zarah. Look, I'm looking for somebody to work for me, and here his name is Levi. Not a kohen. He's the kohen, means a priest. He's the head of. Again, I don't want to, Mamish like the Ganav. That story, I'll say the story. You're talking, the Ganav comes to the Rebbe on Yom Kippur. That one? What are you saying? Which one? Yeah. So it's even more. The guy, Ganav comes to the Rebbe. He says, Rebbe, give me a bracha on Yom Kippur that I should be matzliach with my gneva. He says, gneva, what are you, crazy? He says, listen, every person has to get robbed. People are going to get robbed. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu should make me the one. I should be zoichet to be the one doing that gneva. Okay? Every Ganav davens. It's true.
It's like that's all the rosh to get a shul on Yom Kippur. There's a call, let it be.
I don't know if everybody heard you, so I'll repeat it. So that Tzolim members, not all, some, the one that have ants in their pants, they need to get out. Look, he says, Rebbeinu Shalom, I don't chasron, I don't want to call, but if there's a call, it should be next door. Got it. Gewaldig. Again, I don't want to, but I think we have to think about the Yad Hashem. The Yad Hashem that we're here in Eretz Yisrael, we have an enemy with 150,000 missiles. And they said that if we start up with them, they're going to shoot thousands of missiles a day, and they're going to be accurate missiles, and they're going to hit the energy, and they're going to hit the this, and the that, and the whole Israel's going to do this. And the estimates were the first day, there's thousands of dead, and this and that. We are, 2 weeks in, and there's 13 to 14 dead, which is a ton, but not what they said. These are not the numbers that they were talking about. Then you go back and you say, the beeper thing, the walkie-talkie thing, they get Nasrallah the next day, they get the second guy. So if you don't pause and say, Rebbeinu Shalom, there's a Rebbeinu Shalom, there's a Yad Hashem in every step of the way. It's not the Koich Veitzim Yadi, it's not the this. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu directing traffic, doing things. I want to show you something. Somebody sent me here this thing from I don't know what station. Who knows? If you don't understand Hebrew, I'll explain it afterwards. I thought it's very. I don't know if the guy's wearing a yarmulke or not. They said he is. It doesn't look like to me, but okay, maybe he is. No, that's how it is on the screen over there.
חוזרים אחורה השנה, ואנחנו רואים את השנה הזו. בסיפור הזה אנחנו
The guy works for
לא מצליחים לאחות את הקרעים בין כל הצדדים של העם, ולפעמים אירועים כאלה שהם כאילו מקומיים, הם משליכים על הכל. אבל אני רוצה לומר עוד משהו שהוא אולי יפתיע. אני כאחד שהתמחיתי בחיזבאללה ובלבנון, אם היית עכשיו מעמידה פה בשורה את כולם, כל ראשי מערכת הביטחון, אמ"ן, שב"כ, מוסד, ואומרת להם, תגידו, יש סיכוי שיקרה מה שקרה? בחודש הזה, אפילו לא חודש, 3 שבועות עם חיזבאללה, שאנחנו נראה פה דגל קנייה וכל מה שקרה, לא יהיה אחד, שאם הוא דובר אמת, שיבוא ויגיד שחשבתי שאפילו יקרה חצי מזה. אז יש פה גם עניין של אמונה. אני מאמין שהעסק הזה הוא לא יד אדם. מי שמאמין, צריך לראות את זה כך, ולכן גם צריך להודות, וזה חלק מהאמונה ביום הזה. וואו.
Wow, she's in shock. Wow. You have to believe. It's a guy that is Gan Rosh, the assistant head, no, how do you say Gan? Of the intelligence in Israel. He says, if you ask anybody a few weeks ago, if they would have been speaking the truth, nobody would say that even half of what they accomplished could have happened. So you have to believe, you have to have emunah. You have to believe that's not human beings doing this. We take it for granted. No, seriously, we take it for granted. You're sitting here. The guy, I'm telling you, the chazan, he doesn't chap that we're in a war. He's screaming about the shvuyim. I know the shvuyim, but we're in a war. They shot a couple hundred missiles today. We're in a war. What war? Regardless war. We know about a war. We remember Chemish war. We have. I'm saying you have to open up your eyes. So different people open up their eyes in different things. And Micha opened up his eyes and he says, "Oh, thank you, Hashem. Mamish, kiss for Hashem." He gave me a Levi. So Zok the Gemara. Atu yadati ki yetim. Now I know Hashem is going to be good to me. Ki oyeli halevi lekoyin. We have to, I know we said it 20 times. We have to say the Ma'aseh Nachamal just in case the Olam doesn't remember and there's some new guys. Guy comes to the Rav, he says, Rav, I want to be a kohen. He says, I cannot make you a kohen. He says, please, Rav, I'll give you $100,000. He says, I can't make you a kohen. $200,000. No. But why do you want to be a kohen? He says, because my father's a kohen. And my grandfather's a kohen. Zok the Gemara. In this Rabbi Gavra the Shmei Levi. You know what the kiss from Hashem was? Not that he was a Levi. That his name was Levi. That's also a kiss from Hashem. As the Gemara, Levi Shmoy, Yonasan Shmoy. His name wasn't even Levi. His name was Yehonasan. Shenema v'Yehonasan b'Gershom ben Menashe. Hu v'anav hayu kohanim l'shevet Adoni. Okay, so his name was not Levi. He must have been a Levi, and therefore you see that he's Levi and Yehuda. And he's not even Ben Menashe. He's not a son of Menashe. He's the son, he's grandchild of Moshe. Ella. He acted like Menashe doing Avodah Zarah. So the Torah named him Menashe. So he's really Levi. The reason why it says Yehuda, because he did a Ma'aseh Menashe. He did something that, when somebody does something wrong, so we name him after the original. The original is Menashe, that comes from Yehuda. When somebody does something wrong, you say that it goes by the person, the original Mekulkal. Adoniyahu was very handsome. He had the same mother as Avshalom. So they were brothers. Now, we could pause here for a second, because Reb Chaim Shmulevitz used to say that Avshalom, we know, was David HaMelech's son, and he wanted to overthrow his father, and he chased his father. He wanted to kill his father. Chased him out of there, and at the end, he ended up being with his 10 of his father's pilakshim, because he didn't want people to say, oh, you're going to make up with your father. So he did something he cannot make up. He went and he had the 10 pilakshim, his father's 10 wives. He took his father's 10 wives. So said Reb Chaim Shmulevitz, I want to go to Avshalom's grave in Yad Avshalom. I want to daven there every Yom Kippur. Why? He said, Hashem, you have a son that's the worst son in the world. He can't get any worse than Avshalom. Wanted to kill his father, took his wives and everything, drove his father out. Yet when he died, when Yoav killed him, David HaMelech was very upset. And he screamed, he says, "Oi, what happened to my son?" And then he saw that his son's going to Gehenna, so he said, Bini, Bini, 7, 8 times he said it. To take his son out of Gehenna, to shiv him Medur Gehenna, to put him in Gan Eden. If that's how a father treats a son, after everything, so please have Rahmanas on us, our children. We weren't as rebellious as Avshalom. Hello. Somebody told me, he was in a taxi, the guy told him, he says, my son is the worst. Mamash behema. He did this to me and that to me. He stole and he this and that and that. And after he's telling him all the stuff about his son, he says, yeah, if he picks up the phone and calls me up, I'll be Meichelim. Because a father is Meichel's son, no matter what. Even, you see here, even David HaMelech and Avshalom. So says the Gemara of Adoniah ben Chagis. Who was Adoniah's mother? Chagis. Avshalom ben Macha. Avshalom, his mother was Macha. It's 2 different women. Ella. Since Adoniah acted like Avshalom, the Mor ben Malchus, he did a merit ben Malchus. He rebelled against the kingdom, so the Torah considered him like Avshalom. Omer Belazar, Loila midbak Adam batoivim. Excuse me. Person should marry into a good family. Yichus. Somebody once asked the Chazon Ish if they read him a shidduch from Baal Tshuva family. Is it okay to marry a girl that her father is a Baal Tshuva? She says, why not? She says, because I'm not a Baal Tshuva. She says, no, why not? Chazon Ish's joke. There's nothing wrong. If they're Baal Tshuva, Givaldik. How come you're not a Baal Tshuva? So, Zok the Gemara. Shari Moshe, I'll prove it to you. Moshe Rabbeinu Shenasa Bas Yisro, he married the daughter of Yisro, Yotzim and Yoinasan. Who's Yoinasan? The one we just spoke about. He had this Avodah Zarah by Micha. Aaron Shenasa Bas Aminadav. Aaron who married the daughter of Aminadav. Who did he marry? Elisheva. Yotzim Mimeno Pinchas. So, when you marry somebody worthy, you have good children. You marry somebody not worthy, you don't have good children. We're going to see how many generations up do you have to go. What do you think? A boy say, how many generations? Who? How do you know?
You said it's like 3 times like a cord. 3 times.
Like a cord? Ah. Yeah, 3 generations. That's what we're going to see tomorrow. It's 3 generations. Says the Gemara, should we stop over here? No, go a few minutes. Upinchas. Lami Yisrael. You're saying that Pinchas is pure. Pinchas also came from Yisrael. Vaksiv. Elazar ben Aaron lokach loibim leis Putiel loy Lisha. Elazar, the son of Aaron, took from the daughters of Putiel. My love, the Asim Yisrael should pita magalim lavid Zara. Isn't Putiel Yisrael? He fattened a golem for Avodah Zarah. He used to be the priest for Avodah Zarah. Loi. Dasim Yosef shepit bebi Yitzray. Putiel doesn't mean fatten. Pitba means that he fought, he struggled with his Yetzer Hara. We know that Yosef Atzadik struggled. That's where they came from. It's interesting. The Sefer Hasidim says that if you marry somebody that doesn't come from a good family, really has to do with tomorrow's daf, with making sure that the brothers of your wife are good people. He says that if you have children that are not good, then you get a einish for that. You caused it. It's your fault. It says over here, you have to go after the good. And if you don't go b'toiv, you can get punished for it. Did you see They were making fun of Pinchas. You see this Ben Puti, the son of a Puti. Ben Shepitim Avi Imay Agal Avi Zara. Here they're talking about that he comes from Yisrael, not from Yosef. Yaharig Nasi Shevim Yisrael. How did he kill Zimri? He's a Ben Puti. So Puti is not a good word. It doesn't mean that he fought his Yitzhara. It means that he was Mefatim Agal Avi Zara. Elo, says the Gemara, Yavud Imay Mi Yosef. So what happened is the Gemara says no, he came from both of them. He came from Yisrael and he came from Yosef. If his grandfather came from Yosef, then his grandmother comes from Yisrael. And if his grandmother came from, his grandfather comes from Yisrael, he came from both. So let me ask you a question. If he came from both, so then why are we saying that he's good? That he came out. Pinchas came out because he's from Yosef. But he's also from Yisrael. Huh? Yeah, the kasha. We're saying that Pinchas, either his grandmother was from Yisrael and his grandfather was from Moshe, or the opposite. They're from both. He's from both. So why does the Gemara say, oh look, I have a raya that if you marry into a good family, you get somebody like Pinchas. What's the raya? Both of his grandparents, either one is good, one is bad. So what's the raya? The answer is, what Jonathan said before, that it only lasts for 3 generations. The Yisrael part, it's true he came from Yisrael, but it's more than 3 generations away. It was further away, closer to Moshe Rabbeinu. I think we finish here, right? This is the thing? Oh, no, one more word. It says benois. That's the preferred pshat in the Rishbam. Benois, it's plural, putiel. There's 2 putiels. One was shepitim avidazara, that's Yisrael, and one was that he fought the Yetzirah. Tarti shmamina. You see that the Pinchas came from both. Rabbi Isai, have a wonderful week.